I would say think about what's been missing and then really decide to invest in yourself, not buy something, invest in that which you want to create. And once you make that choice, go to these guys and allow them to lead you along that path. Don't go with a bunch of short lines in different directions. Go with one long straight line with the GSD and allow them to show you the pathway to what you want to create. And don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait until you have a paycheck coming in the middle of the summer or middle of the winter. Do it now. Invest in yourself now. Find a way to make it work and just start doing it.
Wrapping up a century of knowledge, because like that's kind of how I look at it, from like meeting the CEO of Sony to stamps.com and being able to spend hours with them. Just those conversations, even though elapsed time might be a few hours, it's really, to me, I'm like, dude, I just got to meet him in the 70s and when he's in 70 years old or something. And I'm like, fucking A, the amount of information he just got to talk about in 2 hours, that's like a life's work that I just got party to. You know what I mean?
Watching your VSLs, Cody on VSLs, all of your videos and the courses that before I even got on a call with anybody, I was beginning to know, like, and trust you guys in a very efficient way. And I said, this is the piece I've been missing, where my journey with you guys started. I'm 2.5 months in to the partner program, and I'm already 3x my monthly recurring revenue just in 2.5 months. If anybody out there is just looking for a money prover, then that's it right there. But the bigger piece for me is the culture of the GSD and the doors it has opened, the networking that's been available, but it's the culture of get shit done. I'm a huge action taker, and that's not me boasting. That's just how I am as a person. I get very kind of obsessive about things to the point where if it doesn't work, I'm going to keep doing things until it does work. And the fact that you guys have that same mindset, you deal with things in a very fast way, it's suitable to how I like to get things done. That's why it's only been 2.5 months, and there's been such great growth just in that time. And no other program I've been in has ever had that effect. And it's really, the partner program really is just that. If I have something with a client that I need help with, I can go to any one of the calls 5 days a week and get help with whatever that thing is. And even if that's not there, then I can reach out to you guys in other ways and get answers then. But it was the foot in the door offer of WebWidget. Everybody's face just lights up. I was on a sales call yesterday with somebody that, come to find out, get on the call with her, she just wants to learn how to get her affiliate link out there for another software. And we end up demoing my WebWidget on my website, and it just brings a smile to her face, even though she was down on voice AI going, I've never heard one that sounds real. And then she listens to mine, and then she's like, okay, that's pretty cool. And she says, but I have no money to give you for any of this stuff. I said, that's fine. You said you're an affiliate marketer. You bring me 3 people, then you can use it for free, which also came from the event. And now she's out there hunting down people to bring to me to use this stuff. So there's just opportunities all over. But showing them the tech and letting it do the talking for you, that's a game changer. I just did a YouTube video last week with one of my clients who's a naysayer for AI and technology, even though she uses some AI, but using voice AI, she's like, yeah, this is great, but it's not for me. I did a poll in my community, and she said that, and I said, all right, will you get on a Zoom with me tomorrow? Put it on my YouTube channel. I just want to create your web widget for you live and then see how you like it after the test. We went through that process, 10 minutes to create it, tested it live on the YouTube, and she, at the end, I said, I have to ask you, did you change your tune now? And she said, yeah, I'd put that on my website now.
Hell yeah. You landed on 2 websites for the same thing that you wanted on a search. One website could talk to you and give you all the answers in real time, and the other couldn't. Which person would you hire?
I would just say I would hire the one that talked back to me and gave me the answers in a very well articulated way. And especially because it's not just that, but they could read it there too if they want. However they choose to take in the information, having both things there to cater to both different types of people. That's the key.
All right, says we're live. All right, sweet. We are live. What's up, GSD? Thank you for the patience. Anyways, we're here with our man, Chris M. Parker. We're going to be talking about something sexy that you guys must love. You have to love if you're in this group already. So I know that a lot of people have a CRM. Maybe it's high level. And if it is high level, in fact, let me guess. You've had it for 2 or more years and you're still figuring it out. So we're going to talk to you about how when somebody does figure it out and they get the shortcut, what the outcomes will be. So this will be an awesome live. So with that being said, everybody who's on here, smash the heart button, smash the like button. And if you're participating in the chat, I want to see the comments blow up on this one. Last one, we had 100 plus. This one, let's destroy that. Hashtag Chris for joining us. Thank you for being on here, Chris.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
Oh yeah. Well, let's start off with a brief. Like, what's your background and what do you do now?
Sure. Yeah. So I've been in marketing in various ways for a long time, come from a long career in restaurants, managing restaurants, then switched careers into starting a brand new startup with electric vehicle company, growing that brand from the ground up, and then getting into the coaching space right before COVID. And that was me following my life mission. Started off in energetic healing, life coaching, and then quickly transitioned into business coaching. People kept coming to me for business coaching rather than the other stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop ignoring what's coming right in front of me, and I'm going to start being of service to it. And that's helping other coaches to launch their businesses and to be of service to their clients and helping them break down the barrier to technology and other things that keep them from finding clients and getting their business off the ground and scaling.
Nice. Okay, so like how would you define your business today from coaching and marketing or one or the other or both?
So I'd say it's actually three because it's marketing, coaching, but it's also selling SaaS. It's also selling the technology that people need and helping them implement and get over those technological barriers.
Got it. So like going back, you mentioned restaurant, EV, life healing and coaching, right? So what do you feel like that history led you to this life that you have now?
All of those things play a role in how I work with my clients now. And I'll say the term that I do for my clients right now, if they choose that service level from me, the term is hand holding. And that's what they need is the hand holding through things. How many times they need a text, a phone call, or an email just to keep them moving forward. That is the thing that my clients love about working with me. Technology, you can get it anywhere. Information, you can get it anywhere. Tons of free resources, but it's the connection with somebody that's already been through it, already built it, and can help you implement faster than I had before. That's the powerhouse right there.
Right. I mean, that's such an important thing, speed, right? Success loves speed. But I want to go back to the restaurant business. That's something that I go to a lot of restaurants and I kind of see the staff. I can tell from an instant, the moment, the first touch point, the first impression I get, it's either going to be like, oh, this place is going to be just all right. No, they definitely do deserve that 3.8 on their Yelp or whatever. But I give them a chance anyways, right? Now with you managing restaurants, did that kind of inherently teach you how to be a good leader?
Absolutely. In my time managing restaurants, I did every single job in the restaurant so I could be an effective manager. And I learned about dealing with all different kinds of people. Reaching them on their level was the most important lesson. Removing myself and my ego out of situations, reaching them where they are, finding a way to help them because the customer is always right in a restaurant. So finding a way to help them, but still maintain our integrity as a brand within that restaurant. There's a delicate balance there, and finding a way over the years to perfect that balance, that was key.
Yeah, I love meeting people like you and other successful people like you that have a history that was the tuition they paid to get them to where they are today. Because you're leveraging all your skill sets, like managing different personalities from busboys to hostess stands to chefs that probably presumably have a big ego, and being able to balance it through to ultimately give the customer experience at the end of the day. To getting into where you are now, where you can now have a broader audience. Location is no longer like an issue. It's not a physical address. It's a Zoom address, if you will, where we can serve the world if we want to. If our big why is Tony Robbins worldwide, or if it's going to be citywide, statewide, countrywide, etc. That's what I love about this particular space too. Now, you before you met us in the GSD, like had you gone through any kind of mentorship or worked with other groups to help you kind of scale this thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd gone down every single rabbit hole that you can expect. So everything from buying low ticket shiny objects at 4 a.m. and trying to implement those. And then usually there's some sort of a piece of duct tape that's missing to get it to where it needs to go, to buying high ticket programs, working with people that were also selling a shiny object, but you're still bubble gumming together things. And usually it was overpromised, under delivered. Now, I will say this, though, they all served a purpose on my journey of learning. I learned something from each and every one of them. And now that's what I bring to my clients. That's why I always say when you hire me, you're getting every single book I've ever read. You're getting every single high ticket coaching program, low ticket item I bought at 4 in the morning. You're getting everything that I've digested and implemented into my business to shrink it down into a very workable machine. It's not just you're getting calls with me. You're getting all of that stuff that I've already done given to you on a platter to see how you can implement it for your highest and best good.
No, that's an incredible way to explain it to people. But ultimately, at the end of the day, based off that, it's almost like you have a century of knowledge in your mind that you can execute upon instantly because not only did you learn, let's say, from person X, but that person to be able to write a book or create a program or a teaching, they've also done the same thing. So you kind of, everything rolls uphill into the cliff notes of the best highlight reels of what already works because they've already been feeling like they got screwed over and they're solving a different problem. And then the next coach, and the next coach, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of like wrapping up a century of knowledge because like, that's kind of how I look at it from like meeting the CEO of Sony to stamps.com and being able to spend hours with them. Just those conversations, even though elapsed time might be a few hours, it's really to me, I'm like, dude, I just got to meet him in the 70s and when he's in 70 years old or something. And I'm like, fucking A, the amount of information he just got to talk about in 2 hours. I mean, that's like a life's work that I just got party to. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, how did we connect? Like, where did you come across the GSD?
Yeah, so funnily enough, I talk about those late night scrolls, and it was a late night scroll right before the first of the year. I was really inspired to, just get into my business. I said, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to get my health in order, and I'm going to get my business going. But the caveat here is I'm going to do it in a way that relies on nobody else but myself, because there was other options where I might need to wait for somebody else to come on board or for something else to come on board. But I decided that was my 2025 thing. I'm going to make choices and actions that depend on nobody else, just my own grit, so to speak. And the GSD was right there when I was scrolling, and it was your guys' free course, I think, is how I entered. But the thing that hooked me right off the bat, it was the middle of the night. And right after I subscribed to your free course, I think it was about agency. I'm like, I've been wanting to create an agency. I've just never called it that. I've been doing agency services for a long time, just never formalized it. So free course, but you guys hit me with a text, a voice AI call, and an email right off the bat at that whatever it was in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning. And I'm like, man, that just the touch points, like you said, from the restaurant days, there's 3 touch points right off the bat. I was impressed by that. And then it was the email follow-ups after that, watching your VSLs, Cody on VSLs, all of your videos in the courses that before I even got on a call with anybody, I was beginning to know, like, and trust you guys in a very efficient way. And I said, this is the piece I've been missing. It's the follow-ups. It's the interactions on different levels, reaching people on channels that works for them. And this is the piece I've been missing. And that's where my journey with you guys started.
Awesome. Now, like you saw the topic that I put up here, and I think everybody gets excited from that's not a shiny object, that's a historic fact. Like what niche are you serving? Whether it's one specifically, and then you have side hustle niches, but what's the core that you really want to penetrate and be the best at?
Yeah, so my core niche is coaches, and that's because it's my mission to help them bring their unique gifts and talents to their clients, but they might be missing it because they don't know how to get there. They don't know how to reach them with client acquisition strategies. So it's my mission to help them all launch so that they can be of service to their clients and have an exponential planet-wide factor of helping people better themselves.
Yeah, coaching is an interesting industry being in the space myself. There's so many freaking talented people. They just have the chaos in their head and can't get it out into the world. And that's the systems. So I kind of look at it as every business presumably has, let's say, a good product. Then they have people that work to support, sell, market that product. But then they might be good, they might be bad. I don't know. But let's aside besides the point, because you could take an average product and average people and plug in a process, and then you can explode sales. So that's kind of where what it sounds like you're solving for with these coaches is that they have the talent and they have the people, even if it's just themselves. They just don't have a system and a process in place to be able to distribute the message, deliver the widget that they sell, engage the people all in a repeatable fashion so that they can just be in their zone of genius doing what they do, talking, speaking, launching Zooms, and taking the headache of all that bullshit out of the way. But the good part in scenario one, a coach without a process is just a broke coach. A coach with a process makes a shit ton of money and impact.
Absolutely. And That's the thing that I bring through my scary offer, which is helping them to up level their programs, to sell them for 10K plus and automate their sales process. And that's using all the tools and AI that are at our fingertips right now that you guys have provided through the GSD and stuff. And, as a byproduct, you would ask about a secondary niche. I've been doing marketing for an independent group of, or excuse me, a group of independent pharmacists for going on 3 years now. And I had one of those pharmacies say, I'm interested in up leveling my marketing game from old antiquated methods like TV, radio, newspaper, and we want to get into the current day and age. And, I think I was about 4 weeks into the GSD and custom build sold for 10K plus right there, monthly recurring of 1,000 for a 6 month agreement to get it off the ground and see how things were working. And that could be an avalanche of independent pharmacies right after that. Now, I also can get behind the independent pharmacy niche with my mission as well, because they're serving their local communities with a higher level of service than all the big box stores are giving. So it's serving the same mission of just trying to spread people's zone of genius in a faster way than I could ever do by myself.
Yeah, when you brought up pharmacies, I immediately thought of that guy Andy that I see at my Starbucks. I still haven't been able to get in touch with him because I moved cities or locations, if you will. But I'm going to give you the information and we'll just call him together. He'll remember me. We used to meet at 5 in the morning every day. Not meet us. He'd be there and I'd be there. But yeah, he's always picking my brain about like everything. I made him a Google scan code. I'm like, make everybody happy customer scan this and write you a review. I'm like, that one's on me. The next time you call me, just bring your wallet because we'll have some shit to talk about. But I just kind of joke with him. But anyways, I'm going to give you that lead so you can show him the kimono of what you built because I already know he needs that because they got no tech in there at all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Speaking of the custom build, is it already like it's sold? It's 1,000, so technically it's a $16,000 project. Now, along the way, are you going to be making recommendations for marketing to increase the value of the account?
Yeah, so this serves as a pilot. So I'm basically giving them multiple levels of service within now that the custom build is done. And then there's a big piece that's missing right now that we're waiting for, and that's that most independent pharmacies use one of two softwares to manage all of their customers and their refills and all that kind of stuff. And that's I'm not going to name them by name, but we're going through the process of trying to integrate high level with their system so that you have to go through a formal request process there. And but if that comes through, which I think it will, it just takes time like anything else, then we're going to be able to integrate voice AI on a level that refills people's prescriptions, does automatic reach outs, and all kinds of more touch points that their customers are going to really benefit from rather than calling in the traditional VoIP system, pressing one, pressing two, and usually ending up on hold waiting for a live person to get on the phone.
Yeah, those are very, very annoying. I mean, but think about all the money that they're missing out on, not by, forget voice for a second, but without the system you've described, how much money's on the table because a typical pharmacy, the problem is you call it in and then you have to make sure that they got it. So you got to do that touch point as the fucking customer. And then when it's ready, you have to make sure that you're available to go get it. And then also they restock it so quickly that you might even miss it altogether. But then let's say you have a 30-day supply of X antibiotics, but you need really 90 days, but doctors to make sure you're safe and not over abusing, they won't refill it until they're out. And you have to wait a minimum of 30 days for 30 pills. That automatic voice call, that automatic voice message, that automatic text message, that automatic system, if you will, the process takes over and can say, hey, you must be out of your refills. Are you ready for another? Yes, cool. Pay another bunch of money. And for convenience, come pick it up. Right. So that's how much revenue is on the table for you guys out there in Facebook land. By the way, you guys in Facebook or wherever you're seeing this, do you guys want to learn how to sell $10,000 builds like Chris does? Just put a yes, I do, or a nah, not for me. That's too much if you don't. And that's okay too. Everybody's got a decision. But going through all these different coaches and whatnot, now that you're in it and you get to experience the GSD, is there a difference that makes you feel like I made a good decision here?
Yeah, so basically, what you guys had me do when I first came on board was to really get aligned with where I was and where I wanted to go. And buying into that vision from the get-go. I've still got my piece of paper that I wrote down when I got the initial call with Mason and Joey of where I am now and where I want to be. And I'm 2.5 months in to the partner program, and I'm already 3x my revenue, monthly recurring revenue, just in 2.5 months. So that right there, if anybody out there is just looking for a money prover, then that's it right there. But the bigger piece for me is the culture of the GSD and the doors that it has opened, the networking that's been available, but it's the culture of get shit done. And I'm a huge action taker, and that's not me boasting. That's just how I am as a person. I get very kind of obsessive about things to the point where if it doesn't work, I'm going to keep doing things until it does work. And the fact that you guys have that same mindset, you deal with things in a very fast way. It's suitable to how I like to get things done. That's why it's only been 2.5 months, and there's been such great growth just in that time. And no other program I've been in has ever had that effect. And it's really, the partner program really is just that. If I have something with a client that I need help with, I can go to any one of the calls 5 days a week and get help with whatever that thing is. And even if that's not there, then I can reach out to you guys in other ways and get answers then. So you guys are invested in my success so that I keep growing. And having that mutual buy-in is something that I was craving at the beginning of the year. Felt like I was all alone. And how am I going to bubble gum this stuff together? And the mutual buy-in from you guys is what changed the game.
Yeah, and I got to correct you. We're 6 days, not 5. Don't forget
Okay.
about Saturdays. All right.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. That's right. Yeah.
You
And
are
those Saturday
forgiven.
calls are amazing.
Awesome. So, like, what are you working on right now to scale the business that you're so close to get there? Like, what's the next step for you?
So the next step for me is my ads are doing great. I'm bringing in leads. I'm updating my follow-up process to appeal to my niche so that I can get more calls on the books or just passively reach out to them with my offers. But now essentially I'm not just offering 10K builds. That's the high end and that's wonderful. And if somebody wants that, I'll provide it with you guys and everything, and that's great. But the lower end stuff, the foot in the door offers is really what I want to do. And at the live event with you guys, $1,000, I'll create your web widget for you. We'll give it to you, put it on your site, and then let's see what's available on the back end of that. That's the thing that of that whole 3 days, there were so many gems of gold in there of the live event, but it was the foot in the door offer of web widget. Everybody's face just lights up. I was on a sales call yesterday with somebody that, come to find out, get on the call with her. She just wants to learn how to get her affiliate link out there for another software. And we end up demoing my web widget on my website, and it just brings a smile to her face, even though she was down on voice AI going, I've never heard one that sounds real. And then she listens to mine, and then she's like, okay, that's pretty cool. And she says, but I have no money to give you for any of this stuff. I said, that's fine. You said you're an affiliate marketer. You bring me 3 people, then you can use it for free. Which also came from the event. And now she's out there hunting down people to bring to me to use this stuff. So there's just opportunities all over.
That opened up a world of opportunities as well. And like I mentioned before we streamed, I'll share the video so you can hear me actually doing what we're preaching. So even though I don't necessarily always sell like foot in the door offers as at that price at $1,000 anymore. I just had to demonstrate that how easy it is. Literally picked up a fucking phone, called one person, they answered, they were unavailable, set up a time, the time came, did 2 minutes of rapport building, shared my screen, boom, voice AI did everything. The only reaction I got, and you get as well, like you mentioned with your affiliate marketer, is how do I get that? How did it do that? How much data did you feed it? Will mine be that smart? And I haven't even made the offer yet. Right.
Yeah.
So it's already so fucking automatic that you have to be you have to be holding kryptonite in your mouth to not sell this. Like swallowing kryptonite as your meal prep.
And that's the thing too, is that in the niche of coaches, especially, they're really jaded. They're not signing up to get on coaching calls right away from an ad they saw on Facebook, but showing them the tech and letting it do the talking for you, that's a game changer. I just did a YouTube video last week with one of my clients who's a naysayer for AI and technology, even though she uses some AI, but using voice AI, she's like, yeah, this is great, but it's not for me. I did a poll in my community, and she said that, and I said, all right, would you get on a Zoom with me tomorrow? Put it on my YouTube channel. I just want to create your web widget for you live and then see how you like it after the test. We went through that process, 10 minutes to create it, tested it live on the YouTube. And she, at the end, I said, I have to ask you, did you change your tune now? And she said, yeah, I'd put that on my website now,
Hell yeah.
so
That's the best part. I mean, I'm glad you're distributing the content at scale and also even challenging a naysayer, because those are just preconceived thoughts due to negligence of what's available. And then once you demonstrate it, then you're going to be in the driver's seat because then they're like, people should be thinking, I can't get knowledge that quickly, but the AI can. How is that possible? It's because it's 2025 and we have it. Right. So we don't like if like 100 years ago, I'm sure whoever lived then probably didn't say like I can't wait till Google's on the internet and we can search things anytime, any place and get accurate information. But then when we got it, it's like it's a naysayer vibe, right? And in any revolution or innovation change, a change of a century, if you will, where life is going to change as our existence, this is that. Like this is the biggest thing we're going to see in a long, long time. Obviously, the Jetsons are going to become the truth very, very soon. Elon Musk will make sure of that. But today, marketers, business owners, anybody who uses an inbound or an outbound phone or even has a website, if you don't have this, there is money to be lost to somebody that does. And something simple, I'll ask you and Chris and Joey to both answer this. But if you landed on two websites for the same thing that you wanted on a search, one website could talk to you and give you all the answers in real time, and the other couldn't. Which person would you hire?
I would just say I would hire the one that talked back to me and gave me the answers in a very well articulated way. And especially because it's not just that, but they could read it there too if they want. However, they choose to take in the information, having both things there to cater to both different types of people. That's the key.
Yeah, and Joey, what would you choose?
100% support right at the very beginning before I even talk to the business owner.
Yeah.
Support.
Exactly. The customer experience, the Pert Plus commercial. If you guys are old enough, Pert Plus is an all-in-one shampoo and conditioner and soap your body. I'm not a promoter for them, but they said you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So why not make the best impression and crush the competition? Because that's what business is about, right? You want to win overall. You are the competition, but you make choices to innovate or just be old school. Totally fine. Either way, life goes on. We'll all be forgotten when we die. I'd rather just be richer when I'm alive than poorer. And that's the whole point of this work ethic world is do things simpler, more profitable, and more enjoyable, right? Because like you mentioned, like you want to take care of your body and you want to take care of your wealth. Part of that equates to happiness along the way, because we can't be resentful for the business we create, calling that a jail cell, which a lot of people will end up doing. Anyways, Chris, what's been your like? I gotta ask because Cody's not here. Like, which call would be your favorite? And you don't have to pick mine if you don't want to. But which call is your favorite one that you attend to on these GSD masterminds?
My favorite call to get on, the first one that pops in my mind, I love them all, but the first one that pops in my mind is the content call on Wednesdays. And that's because not only can you get a question answered, but it taught me something in the beginning that if nobody has any questions, it's dedicated time to go create some content. And something I heard you say recently is just do it now. Just
Hmm.
do it now. So whatever that is, I have a to-do list of my clients and my own business and my own self-care. And it's okay, I might do that in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but do it now. But it's not always creating content. It's just, okay, I need to create content. So instead of I'm gonna go come up with some fantastic quote that promotes my business in a very articulate way. Instead, I'm just going to say, I need to create content. Here's how I do that on a daily basis. And I'm going to post that video of me doing it, documenting it, instead of creating something profound, which lands both of us in a whole bunch of do nothing.
Hmm.
It's just documenting it. And I learned that on that content call. And it has nothing to do with whether it's you or Cody. It's just the structure of that.
That was a nice way to say you like Cody's call better. Appreciate the charisma, coach.
No, but I will say also the Saturday calls, I'm a family guy. I've got a baby and a toddler and a wife that I love, and that's my number one priority. So Saturdays, it's not always easy for me, but lately it's worked out that I can get on those. And I've had so many golden nuggets of me emailing myself from those calls, wherever I am, grocery store, wherever it is on a Saturday. So I love those too. That's my number two.
Yeah, no, I'm glad people tune into those because those are like we're just here to help as many people as we possibly can that are inside the community. Now, like let's just say you didn't click that ad in 2024, December going into 2025, and you just decided I can do it alone. I'm a one man army. I'm gonna put my head down and just do it. YouTube University life. Like, how do you think things would be by this date, March 26, 2025?
I think that I would have already had at least one or two more tried and failed and on to a third of things to try. It was, I just did a post this morning that said one of our most powerful traits as entrepreneurs is surrender. And that's what I decided when I was faced with, do I want to get it, join the GSD and the partner program? Was that's it. I got sober 9 years ago, and I decided right then. I learned about fixed manage and control as an alcoholic, and I had to let go of fixed manage and control. And when I joined the GSD, I said, I'm going to take that exact same mindset and I'm going to bring it in the GSD. I'm going to let go of fixed management control. I'm going to surrender and I'm going to do whatever in the hell they tell me to do because they're successful and I want that. And that's the mindset that has carried me forward. So without that, today's right now, I'd probably still be just doing a whole bunch of shiny object syndrome, tried and failed, trying to bubblegum stuff together. Instead, I've got an agency that is launched, it's thriving, it's growing, it's already 3x in revenue, monthly recurring revenue, and the sky's the limit.
Oh yeah, I love that. Now, there's people out there that have been in your shoes and have already tried, failed, and they think failure is their future. So, but they have the goal and the dream of like, I want to be successful, but the world is here to fuck me. If they're on the fence of considering talking to one of our guys or joining any one of our levels of programs, what would you tell that person?
I would say think about what's been missing and then really decide to invest in yourself, not buy something, invest in that which you want to create. And once you make that choice, go to these guys and allow them to lead you along that path. Don't go with a bunch of short lines in different directions. Go with one long straight line with the GSD and allow them to show you the pathway to what you want to create. And don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait until you have a paycheck coming in the middle of the summer or the middle of the winter. Do it now. Invest in yourself now. Find a way to make it work and just start doing it.
No, thank you for that. I love that. That's the better said than I could. Now, in terms of, let's go back in time 1 second. Like, were you ever skeptical about anything before you purchased anything from us or invested in yourself?
I guess I was the number one thing I was skeptical of is the first thing that I signed up for, which was the free course. I'm always skeptical of something free. But it was the way you guys did it with the videos and the VSLs, where even though I think the first couple of VSLs I watched were Cody's and your funnels, and I was even a little skeptical of those. I'm like, these are very well produced, but I just saw that you guys had tons of success stories, like you're doing with me right now. And I said, if they've got that many success stories, they got to be onto something. That broke down my barrier right there.
Nice. Okay. I mean, results matters, right? That's why we help. And that's why you're on this call too, is not only to anybody who wants to lean on Chris, he's a coach. He can help. He can clear your mind, get you out of your own way. Because when you're in your head, you're dead, right? And we got to kind of constantly water the plants to grow those trees. And that's the most important part because question for the audience out there, because life's hard if given the fact that everything we're going to do is going to be hard and challenging, do you want to make more money doing hard things or do you want to make less money doing hard things? Now, obviously, there's an obvious answer to that question. But if you ask yourself that question to your head about every decision you make and you make it a line in the sand, if I go right, this is my positive path. If I go left, this is my day to day path, knowing that if I go left, tomorrow will be no different than today or maybe worse. Knowing those choices are now the pivotal paths, left or right. There's only binary decisions. What choices do you make? So, with that being said, Chris, any words of wisdom to anybody out there in the audience that needs to hear some sort of inspiration of a second go at building their life, their business, or getting improvement or inspiration?
Yeah, what I would say is just to whatever it is you want to create, whether it's in your personal life or in your business, go find somebody that's done that thing faster than you and see if they're willing to have a conversation with you about how you can get started, because it's needing to get out of your own way. That is the number one thing that I've learned and that I help my clients do. It's get out of your own way. So go find somebody to help you do that, whether it's a coffee chat or if you enroll in a high ticket program or a partner program or whatever it is. Find somebody to help you get out of your own way, because we all think that we need to just stay locked in our own minds about things. And all too often, that just lands us in an insanity loop where we create the same stuff. You got to go do something different and talk to somebody and get help.
Awesome. So thank you guys for tuning in the Facebook stream, and a huge thanks to Chris for coming on here, spending his precious time and exploring his story and his journey and where the heck this thing is going, because it's going to be limitless potential at this stage right now. So next time, we'll see you guys on the next live. Thank you guys for tuning in.